had suffered with breast cancer compounded by fighting the insurance company at PPO, have to do in order to speak before Congress? Well, Dr. Flower said, go there and get arrested.
One of the problems we have in a congressional setting is when we have witnesses, we like to get the testimony beforehand so we know what we're going to hear so we can prepare appropriate questions. And public hearings on a congressional level are not like the city council public hearing where everybody who wants to speak comes, shows up, and gets in line, and you stay there as long as people want to speak. They're, I guess, more appropriately described as hearings held in public, where all sides should be able to get witnesses to testify. This obviously wasn't done in the over the Senate. But the purpose of it is to have all sides aired in a hearing with as close as possible to 3, 4, 5, maybe 8 witnesses to get all sides aired and for everybody to have questions, to be able to question the panelists. That to have influence, you don't have to sit at a public hearing. Forums like this invite you legislators, and then it becomes, if they don't want to show up, that becomes a political situation. And sometimes all the comments after the election to Congress, to members of Congress, actually could have been more useful if they had taken place before the election and get people to elect the right people, rather than have the wrong people elected, and then you wonder why they're ignoring you. Well, they were the wrong people to begin with. So I think one of the things, and this is why Ms. Keating is so important, organizing on issues, but don't forget when, as Fergie said, there's an election coming up, make sure you express yourself during an election. And sometimes legislators have to kind of calculate what we're hearing. Sometimes it's a small group speaking louder and louder doesn't make the group any bigger. And sometimes that's what you're hearing a lot from a small group. And then as you get better at it, you can figure out that sometimes a little message from a large group is more important to listen to than a lot of noise from a much smaller group. What we need to make sure is our group is growing, people get the information, and we make sure that our voices are heard and we elect the right people. So when you talk about deregulation and some of those other things in HSAs, we need to make sure that the right people are getting elected. It makes it a lot easier. And then just while I'm speaking, let me just make one other comment about just overall what the strategy ought to be, because I have the unfortunate experience of having served in Congress in 1993 and 94. I was on the floor of the House when President Clinton was given one of his messages and took a pen out of his pocket and said, "And send me a bill that covers everybody, or I'll use this pen and veto it." And half, the Democratic half, stood up and cheered. Everything or nothing. And we ended up with nothing. I hope we don't end up with that. Some of these, we have to calculate what the best we can possibly get with the votes the voters have sent us. And at least cash in on that. Don't be satisfied. We're going to continue making progress. But we don't want to end up in a situation where we don't get anything done this year. And frankly, just from a political perspective, I think, and partisan political, I think the Republicans have concluded that they're just all going to vote no, whatever it is. And it's going to get harder as those from Republican districts are much more likely to vote for a Democratic plan if it is this year than next year when they're looking at election in their face. We tend to lose the conservative Democrats and Democrats representing very conservative districts. We tend to lose those votes much more the closer the election comes. So it's important that we make as much progress as we can make in the next 2 or 3 months.
That person would like to speak to me after the forum. I can help you, not testify, but to be able to share your story.
If I could just add a little footnote.